she just got all confused and all angry, and then long story short, it ended up getting physical because after I told her because I'm 18 now, I told her that I'm moving out, and she did not like that. So me telling her that I apologize for resenting her and telling her that I'm moving out, it just set her off. So
wow,
it got physical.
And I said, you know what, Mom? I do owe you an apology. I am sorry for hating your guts for as long as I have for being such a horrible parent. I realize if you could have done better, you would have. Now get out of my house.
Larry, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing this morning?
All is well, sir.
I just wanted to call you. I called you about a month or two ago, and I was asking you about how I should be forgiving my mother. And long story short, I did do it. You told me to don't have any expectations, and she cry, get mad, and fall out and die. And she did indeed do all that.
She died?
To make it long. Oh no, she didn't die. But
what?
To make to make it long story short, she actually called me into her room to talk about some issues that she had, and then it ended up moving towards me telling her, I apologize for resenting you, and I also forgive you for how you brought us up. I understood that you could not handle yourself, and she did not like doing that. I remember one day, my guy said he did that, and it was like throwing holy water on her. It indeed was like throwing holy water on the devil.
What did she do? What did she say?
She just got all confused and all angry, and then long story short, it ended up getting physical because after I told her because I'm 18 now, I told her that I'm moving out, and she did not like that. So me telling her that I apologize for resenting her and telling her that I'm moving out, it just set her off. So
wow,
it got physical. She was putting her hands on me. She even went outside and ripped the plates off of my car. I'm not even gonna lie, I've never seen such strength. I had metal plates. There were Texas plates. She lifted them up off of my car and literally ripped them off. So I ended up having to call the police. I had to call the police. They eventually came, and I was able to get all my clothes and stuff out, and I made a drive from Texas to Indiana, and now I've been here in Indiana. I got here, and I had a job within the first week. And I kid you not, it was like a switch. I was always so insecure and so shy and trying to be like the antisocial type, always emotional, taking everything personal. And it was just like, after that, it was just so easy to just look at things, listen to these thoughts come and just have no emotions toward it, have no feelings towards it. Just look at it and just let it go past. Who cares?
That is amazing, man.
Yeah, definitely amazing. But I actually had to call you for something else.
Let me just say this.
I did just
hold on. Don't forget, but let me add, that's amazing that your mother carried on in that way, though. I've heard real bad reactions from mothers when the adult children forgive her, but I never heard of that before.
Oh yeah, it was really bad. Yeah, my mother, she's kind of strong too, but I'm a boy. So she put her hands on me, and I didn't put my hands on her back, but I did push her off me one good time, and she really felt that. And, she chased me outside and all this whole crazy stuff.
Wow.
Saying a whole bunch of evil stuff. Oh man, oh man, it was bad. I definitely had to call the police. And I had my, woman, my sisters and everybody telling me, like, oh, well, you didn't even have to call the police. And not only did I call the police, but when I called them and they got there, she got to lying. Like, they got there and she was like, I was trying to let him take his stuff and he didn't want to take his stuff, and like just lying. And I didn't say nothing. After I told her that, before I probably would have took it personal and be like, oh, you're lying, you did, But as she was telling the cops, she just trying to make me look bad, tell them about how I stole some money from her in the 8th grade, how I'm an ungrateful kid, this and that. I just walked in, walked out, got my clothes, and just left. No words.
Beautiful. That is an amazing story, man. That's mind-blowing. Well, I'm glad that you forgave. How old are you now?
I'm 18.
Wow. That's a mind-blowing story to me. But write on and don't resent her. You go on with your life. And if you stay with the prayer and watch those thoughts, you haven't seen anything yet. Now that your heart has changed from anger to love, the rest is going to be easy, man.
Yes, sir.
Amazing story. But go ahead. You had something else.
Okay, so I had to ask you. I have an uncle, and you know the fentanyl thing. He took fentanyl. Well, he didn't take fentanyl. Somebody laced his blunt. They laced it with fentanyl a couple years back, and before then he was just an amazing man. Like I was always there. I never had a father around, so my uncle, I was always around my uncle. I really looked up to my uncle. But after that, like, he just turned crazy, and for all these years, my mom and these doctors, they've been trying to stuff him up with all this medication and all these pills and put him in all these homes, and none of this stuff worked. And I always wanted to be the one who brought my uncle back, but I don't know how. I don't know how I should go about it, because I just seen him not too long ago. He's out here homeless, walking the streets, and he's just crazy, like talking to imaginary people and all this so crazy stuff. And I just want to know, is there any way that you can bring someone back who's so lost like that?
In all honesty, there's no way you can do it. No human being can bring another human being out of their hell. You can point them toward the source that will bring them out from within. They have to forgive, and they have to be still and come out of imagination and all that. They have to work on themselves, but you won't be able to do that. If you do run into him, just let him know he need to drop the anger. If he may be so far gone, he won't even hear that at this point. But,
oh no, yeah, he's really far gone.
Well, there's nothing you can do but wish him well.
Ooh. Yeah, I used to feel bad when I used to see him. This last time I didn't see him. Last time I seen him, I didn't really feel bad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, he is his own man. He does have to handle his feet by himself, but I am in a better position, so it would be nice to know if I could help, but
no.
Yes, not.
And you're right not to feel bad for anyone, because feeling bad for someone, what good that's going to do them, and what good would it do you, right? Exactly. And it's enough to see the condition that they're in, but it does no good to feel anything about it. It just really, it will pull you back into the darkness. We don't have a right to feel bad for anyone. If you notice, God doesn't feel bad for anyone. He'll just let you suffer. He'll let you walk the street talking to yourself on fentanyl. He will just let you die that way. But if you if you reach out to him, you realize something wrong, and you want to overcome, he'll show you how to overcome. But until you do that, he'll just let you stay in your hellhole. And so I'm glad that you didn't feel bad for him either, because if you get into that emotionally, then you try to help him, and he'll end up destroying you.
Yeah.
Amazing, huh?
Amazing.
You can't even help your own family members. You can't help a husband can't help his wife if she doesn't want to be helped, if she's not ready to overcome. A wife can't help the husband if he's not ready. You just have to work on you and to let the light shine. And it's up to everybody on their own to take that straight and narrow path. So be careful with that, because Satan said, oh, look at your uncle. Remember how close y'all used to be? Remember how much you loved your uncle? You had no daddy. Your uncle was there.
Oh, man, it was one good day. I had all those thoughts.
Yeah.
Man, I was crying and all tears and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I had to get over that stuff.
Yeah, be careful with that, because the devil put you in that state of mind, and then he will, why don't you let him come over for dinner? Why don't you help him? And he'll end up destroying you.
It is truly amazing.
And you'll end up destroying your home, stealing your money, all kinds of things, man. So don't fall for that. It's enough to see his condition, but it's evil to feel bad for him. All right? Feeling bad for yourself doesn't even work. As long as
I noticed the the feel bad to feel good and the feel good to feel bad thing, I really noticed that.
Yeah.
It's truly amazing when you can actually see. I'm gonna definitely call you back because I could really talk to you for hours, man. When I hear people talk to you and they just can't see, I'm very thankful that the first time I watched any of your videos, I was able to see the very first time that you were telling the truth.
God
no
is
lie
with
to what
you.
you're saying.
And that's
And I'm truly proud of that because I honestly just don't know how people are so blind. It's just almost amazing.
And that seeing, when you were able to see, that is the voice of God. You know, God said, my children shall know me by my voice. His voice is a voiceless voice. His voice is the light that allows you to see, and it makes sense, and it set you free. The voices in your head, whether it sound like your voice or someone else, is evil. The voice that has your uncle walking
Jesse, I don't mean to cut you off really quick, but it might get a little staticky. I stopped to pull over in front of this white woman's house.
Oh.
I do kind of look kind of sketchy, and she's already asked me to leave.
Oh,
so I'm going to go ahead and pull off because she's taking pictures of my car now.
Right on. Go ahead. Stay with the silent prayer and call me again, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And don't resent the white woman that's asking you to leave because you know.
100%. I totally understand. I do kind of look sketchy, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a young black teen, and I'm, kind of ducked off in my car.
Okay.
You know?
Well, call me again about it. Amazing story.
Amazing. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too, buddy. See how he dealing with that situation right now? He said he stopped off to talk on the phone, but he looked a little sketchy. The white woman told him he got to go and take a picture of his car. And instead of getting mad and calling her a racist, he understands it. And he's not affected by it. That's deep. And he's 18 years old. Now when you overcome the anger, that's living proof right there. You could be in the world and not affected by the world. In it, but not of it. But you got to clean up your world first within. You are your world. Everything starts and ends with you. And Larry from Indiana called, 18-year-old black male, called, and he talked about how he went and forgave his mother at 18. And according to Larry, all the hell came out of her. To the point, according to Larry, she got violent. He had to call the police on mama, 18 years old. And she went and pulled the license plates off his car. And he was surprised because he had them put on there a certain kind of way. It's all like, it's hard to just take them off like that. But think about that. Your mama, my mama don't like you, and she likes everyone. Your mama, your own mama, gets mad because you forgive her. You understand, and you say, Mama, I understand now. I realize you couldn't help yourself. You did the best you could. I'm sorry for resenting you. You're not even accusing her. I'm sorry for resenting you. I'm wrong for being angry. And Mama get mad and the hell come out. And she pull your license plates off your car, and then you're 18 years old, and you say, well, I'm moving. And Mama say, no, you ain't going nowhere. You gonna stay here, and you gonna love me. and you gonna love me. Love me. And he left. At 18 years old, he left whatever state he's in. He was from. He went to Indiana, got a job in a week. 18 years old. But what's more remarkable about perfect love, because that's perfect love, that is love without condemnation. That is freedom. And every human being can have it. But what's even more remarkable to Larry's story this morning is that Larry is he said he's 18 years old, black male, 18 years old. So he pulled over there in Indiana, parked in front of, right down the street in front of somebody's house, of course, because he's on his cell phone. He wanted to talk. And he said a white woman came out and started taking his picture, telling him he got to go or something like that, taking pictures of his car and everything. He like, you know what, Jesse, I got to go. I'll call you later. This white woman is out here taking my picture. I'm parked in front of her house, and she's taking my picture. And I do look a little, what did he say, Nick? Sketchy. A black male, 18 years old, he like, I do look a little sketchy. So I'm going to go. And I'm like, okay, don't get angry. Oh, he's like, oh, no, I'm not getting angry. I understand it. And he left. That is a perfect way to deal with evil. To not judge, not get mad, but understand. Understanding only comes from God, and it's an amazing way to live. You understand, you can see. Once you become a whole instead of the divided person, you're going to be able to understand the divided people. They are divided within themselves, and they are divided outside themselves with others. So Larry, a black male, said, I'm going to leave because I understand I look a little sketchy. Now think about this. How many black people you know that would have dealt with that in that way? You black male, even a black female would have gone off. Black male parked on the sidewalk in front of someone's house, a white person's house, she comes out. He or she, black, would have jumped out of their car, yelling racism and this and that, ready to fight, and they would have been videotaping it and put it on YouTube, TikTok. And then the blacks would have come out of the woodwork, oh, look, see, racism exists. They would have loved it. But Larry, according to what he said, dealt with it perfectly. He understood. Above all things, get an understanding. When you can understand what's happening inside of you, I promise you, you're going to understand what's happening inside of others because you will be able to see. And seeing, you will understand. Isn't that amazing? You couldn't make something like that happen. Right on, Larry? A black 18-year-old male fought with mama by not fighting her, and then dealt with that situation by not fighting. I rest my case. Happy Men's History Month. That was amazing. Let the anger go, life will change for you. And whatever that white woman was thinking or feeling, that was on her. It wasn't racism. And Larry showed her love by not fighting with her, not arguing and accusing and carrying on. That's deep. Just think about an 18-year-old black male dealt with that situation with the white lady, according to him, in the perfect way. Amazing. And one last thing, and then I get to some super chats and your phone calls. And you're wondering, I can hear y'all wondering, why did his mama act that way? Mad, and all the hell came out. And she just attacked him like that, according to Larry. Went out and even took the license plates off his car. He had to call the police on mama because he forgave her, right? She got mad. The reason for that, as I've said once, I've said twice, I said 1,000 times or more, Satan is the woman's God. That's why all that hell is in the woman. And then the hell that you see in men came from the woman. It came from mama. And that's why men are afraid of the woman. They're afraid of mama because they have her nature, which is not her nature. It was passed on from Eve. It's the spirit of evil. When Eve listened to the serpent She would no longer listen to her husband, who listened to his father, and Satan became her God. And that's what's happening today. But thank God for sending his son, Christ, Jesus, and it was done. Satan was defeated, and he has no power, no authority, no nothing. He just deceived you to make you think. And God tried to make that clear. That's not my voice. My voice is a voiceless voice. That's the voice of evil. And what do some people say? Oh, the Lord is talking to me. Oh, I heard the Lord say. They think they create their own thoughts. They think those thoughts are true. They think it's them, or they think it's God, or both. I've heard it both ways. Amazing, huh? But ladies, and then when Adam listened to the woman, his wife, the woman became his God. And that's why men are subject to women, because of that. But it's over now. All you have to do is get to know yourself, pay attention to the not you. You're not your thoughts, you're not your feelings, you're not your body. Pay attention to that. Only pay attention to it, it will change. You will finally become a whole person, and you will be free. No more fear, no more doubt, no more worries, no more looking for love, no more identifying with all these fake identities that made a home in you and the mind. You're none of those things. You'll be of the light. You'll be free. And ladies, same thing for you. The devil got your mind and emotions, and he made you promote those emotions as good. And he even tell you to tell men to act like you. Men should be emotional. Men can't. It's hard on a man not to be emotional. That's a lie. It's hard on men when they are emotional. You got it backward. You got it twisted. An emotional man is a wreck, just like an emotional woman. You must be born again of the Father. There will come a day when I'll return the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. That day is now. Don't wait until Jesus come and take you up. He's already taking you up right now. Amazing, huh? That was an amazing story. Anyway, you got to go and forgive mama. Black people, go and forgive your mama. Your mama is crazy. Grandmama is crazy. And you know it. I know it. Everybody looking at it know it. Forgive her. She can't help it. And ladies, you forgive your mother so you can overcome that too. Return to your fathers. It's a spiritual thing. It ain't no isms. Stop the fake identity so you can see the devil for what he is. Inside of you, your imagination and emotions, and inside of others and their imagination and emotions. Lonnie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm just a little bit nervous, man.
Amazing. Relax, it's just Jesse.
Man, I've been listening to you for a long time, and all this stuff you talk about forgiving your mother, and I thought, man, it always blew my mind. I often wondered if you were my dad. Are you my daddy? Because you know my mom so well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head every single time. It has been, it's been long overdue. I've been wanting to call you for a long time. We've been through a lot over the past few years with losing my business and everything and leaving Illinois and moving to Kentucky. And I don't have the mountains blocking my cell signal, so I could finally give you a call and just let you know what happened that day. I forgave my mom.
What happened?
The woman's pure evil.
What happened?
All right. Well, it was Thanksgiving 2020. I had, around the time I started listening to you, I started to realize that, all of my drinking was associated with her somehow. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And then, as you said, I just kind of, to the judge, and I just became aware that every time I hear that woman's name, I got to run to the liquor store. And so I invited my sister over, my niece and nephew, for Thanksgiving. And around that time, COVID had already destroyed my business. So the rule was no masks. There's one thing that we all have in common, even though we have somewhat of a volatile relationship. My family, we don't really get along well. That was the only rule. And then my sister says, oh, by the way, I'm bringing Mom. And I'm like, and I'm going to the liquor store. So I went and I got a half, and I threw it up on the fridge, and everybody shows up. First thing that I see is my niece and nephew walk in the door. We got their Joe Biden mask on all the way from their Adam's apple to their eyelids. And I go, you know, I already told you, that's the one rule. We're taking pictures. That is why my business was destroyed. They shut me down. I don't want to see any masks in my house. We're all in agreement. They didn't work. My sister says, well, just leave them alone. They feel safe. And I go, but you're putting fear into them. You have to see that by allowing them to feel safe that way. When you already told me, you agree that they don't work. So my mom stands there and she says, I'll leave her alone. You're an a-hole like your father. Now,
wow.
Now, my dad had died of cancer a few years earlier, and I get so tired of this woman calling me and my brother an a-hole like my father. I said, the man is dead. You don't ever talk to me like that about my father. Leave him be. And the rule is you take that mask off or you guys are going to have to go. And she started cussing me out. And I told her, listen to the language that you're using on me. You're supposed to be a God-fearing woman, and you're dropping F-bombs on me. You're running my dad down to me. And she says, well, how can I be a Christian with hell spawn like you always driving me away? I go, okay. So that's the way it is. Anyway, I wouldn't back down. I said, the masks come off or you have to leave. And she goes, fine, I'll leave. And she goes to walk out the front door. She left her purse in the kitchen. And as I'm standing there in the kitchen doorway between the front door and the kitchen, she says, I forgot my effing purse. And I go, it's in there on the counter. She's a little portly woman. She goes to tuck her little fat elbows in, kind of clip me really hard as she goes to walk by into the kitchen. And as she walked by and clipped me with her elbow, she got down onto all fours and laid down on the kitchen floor, then sidled up to the edge of a cabinet. And I'm looking at her in disbelief. And I said, what are you doing? And then I'm looking at her and I go, oh, no, you don't. Get up off that floor, woman. There's nothing wrong with you. And she's laying there, and everybody in the house hears me saying, get up off the floor, get up off the floor. Well, it looks like something else kind of happened. You know what I'm saying? And this is what she used to do to us ever since she was a child, ever since we were children. She would always instigate my dad, then play the victim, and turn us against him. And it wasn't until after he was gone that I realized I never knew the man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, so everybody comes into the kitchen. She's just laying there like she's in a daze. And I said, get up off the floor. And I'm looking at everybody. And then she waited till everybody was in the kitchen and saw me standing over, laying there. And my sister helped her up off the floor. And she goes, what did you do? And I said, I didn't do anything. This woman's a liar. She's putting on. And so she's standing there soaking up all the attention, right? And my sister says, you SOB, you owe her an apology. And then it was the strangest thing because it was like I had a calm come over me, man. And I said, you know what? You're right. I do. And I looked at Mom, and I said, you know what, Mom? I do owe you an apology. I am sorry for hating your guts for as long as I have for being such a horrible parent. I realize if you could have done better, you would have. Now get out of my house. And as she started walking out the front door, she was cussing me up and down. She suddenly got a little bit of life out of that because, man, I mean, the hell really started coming out of her. Thanksgiving Day, man.
What?
I'm standing there on my porch.
Dinner.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, it was the strangest thing because my sister was giving me lip the whole time I was there, and my mom wasn't saying a word. And I was just like, hey, are you going to stand in my house and talk to me like that? You know, we're supposed to be having Thanksgiving. All I asked was to take the mask off, okay? So my mom's standing out on the street in front of my house. She's yelling, calling me, and, you know, that bomb, this and that or whatever. And my sister, or she, no, actually, she said, my mom told me, one of the last things out of her mouth was, you're an SOB. And I said, I know I am. I'm looking straight at her. And my sister goes, oh, you're an a-hole. And I said, and you're a bitch like your mother. Now get the hell off my property.
Nice.
And I walked in the house. So my wife was just looking at me. go, did you hit your mom? And I said, I swear to God, I didn't put my hands on that woman. This is what she did to my dad, you know? And after she left, I had that half pint sitting on top of my fridge. I ain't gonna lie. I slammed it, and it did nothing for me. I struggled, Jesse, with drinking for over 20 years, and I always had that voice in my head that sounded like me, just trying to, hey, you did good for 30 days. Why don't you go ahead and have a sip? But it was never just a sip, you know?
Yeah.
And it did nothing for me. It actually soured my stomach. I didn't feel anything from it, and I swear, it's just the urge fell away, and I never touched another drop. I just never felt the urge. Completely gone.
Amazing. That is amazing, Liney. That's why I tell people, it's not about the vices, it's about the heart, the anger. When you get rid of the anger, the nature of the devil will disappear too, because the light will get rid of that. And those are the vices. And most people focus on the vices. They think that's who they are, and it's really not. It's the heart that must change from anger to love.
Yes, and I do still get frustrated from time to time. But I mean, you know, now like when I get angry or when I start to feel that sensation, it's like you say, I just kind of become aware of it. Then I detach myself from it, and it just goes away.
Are you doing a silent prayer every morning, every night?
Now, man, if we're going to start asking questions like that, then it's not going to go well. Okay, no, I don't. Not like I should. And I have no excuse. I have no excuse. I'd be lying if I tried to give you one.
Yeah, I would encourage you to do that, because now that you have forgiven and you have the light, you need the light to destroy the thoughts, the imagination, the emotions, because that is the old nature. That's the nature of the devil. And God will shine that light on the imagination and emotions, and he will clear everything out, and you will have a clear mind. You're not going to be able to do that on your own. You can't make that happen. But if you stay with the light, stay present, rather than the past or future, the light will destroy the thoughts, and you'll be free completely. And then and then it will be impossible for the nature of the devil, which is anger, to come up, because it won't be in you at all. Because if not, you're still going to have those thoughts, and along with the thoughts will come different emotions, and you would think that is you, but it's really not you. But eventually, you won't have it at all. It'll be gone.
Yeah, I can really see and keep myself in check better now. But, you know, it didn't just stop there from when that woman left my house. She goes on Facebook and turned everybody in my family against me.
Yep.
I attacked her, beat her down. This is why I got to think, man, I don't know. You got to be my daddy. It's okay. I ain't mad. I love you. I'd be glad to see Jesse Lee Peterson is my daddy. Yes, he is.
That's why.
Because you just know that woman so well. Oh, my goodness. But she's telling everybody I beat her down, and she got a scratch behind her. Now, first of all right, come on. If I want to beat somebody down, you can have more than a scratch behind your ear. And that doesn't get you anywhere. You know, I'm just too old for that.
But that's what all evil people do. Evil people cannot stand alone. The devil can't stand alone. It must build an army against you. And that's what mothers do to children. Not all mothers, because some mothers realize, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry, I was wrong, right? But most, they won't, and they will build an army against you.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I just wish I could have seen her for what she was before my dad passed. I mean, there was something before I found you. I mean, I did in my own way, I guess, forgive my dad, but I don't know if I said it in so many words. I didn't realize at the time that it would have been better if it was just so vague. It's like you said in an episode years ago, you're talking about how you're not telling us something we don't know. You're just reminding us what we already know. We just forgot. And everything you say makes sense. The one thing I don't disagree, or that I don't agree with that you do say is you kind of knock guys with ponytails, man. Come on, man.
You have a ponytail?
I got a ponytail. I'm working on it,
man. That's right. Amazing. But, Lonnie, it's an amazing car. Because of time, I got to run here, but stay with it. Stay with it. And those that turn against you with your mother, along with your mother, just know they can't see, they can't help it. It's not them, but the same spirit you overcame it's the same thing that they have to overcome. And
It's
so
the same demon in
yeah,
everybody. Yeah.
yeah, and they cannot help it. So don't get angry at them for it. Just wish
No.
them well.
No, I won't.
Amazing call,
Oh,
man. Call me.
I love you. I love you, brother. I really do. I mean that from a not that alphabet type of stuff. I'm talking, true love, man. The
I
truth,
understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
All right, man.
Call me
I'll
again.
call
man.
you again sometime.
Amazing call. Thank you.
Hey, you bet. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Amazing story. Forgiveness is the answer. And forgiveness is not going and asking for forgiveness. It's going and saying, I'm wrong for the way I've treated you. I'm sorry. And then God will forgive. Nowhere in the Word where it says, go and ask for forgiveness. You got that backwards too. The world have taught you everything in the wrong way that keep you in hell.